Hello, I'm Victoria, and this is a story from the collection of stories that I've been reading about the 3 years I spent traveling with my daughter in an RV. And I think unlike the storyteller that was earlier, I actually found the years that we were homeless the happiest years of our life. So this story is called The Time It Takes. Here's what most humans do. Enter their destination into an electronic device, note the time listed, and believe it. Here's what I do. I enter my destination into my obsolete laptop. I note the time listed, then I triple it. My friend complained it took her 4 hours to drive from San Francisco to Los Angeles. Me, I've taken 4 days to do the same trip. Why does it take me so long? Is it because I drive an RV so old it has a cassette deck? Is it because my RV was built before engineers understood aerodynamics? Or is it because, as a single mom, I believe that children need to get out and run around every once in a while? If you've chosen D, all of the above, you would be right. I'm working in Santa Cruz, and I have to be teaching in Santa Rosa tomorrow morning. There's only a couple 100 miles between the two Santas, a mere jaunt for anyone who has a decent vehicle. I don't have a decent vehicle. I have done my last show, I have changed into my regular clothes, and I've packed up by 5:30 p.m., and I'm already panicking. The fair organizers tell me I am contracted to stay until 6. Because even though I'm done performing, I add to the ambience of the fair. I draw their attention to my modern clothes and my exhausted child. How we enricheth your ambience. But bureaucracy prevaileth, and we stand for 30 minutes until a check is reluctantly handeth over. We climb into our RV, and I rumble off at 25 miles an hour. I've driven rental cars where I notice in surprise I'm doing 90. Don't feel a thing. But in an RV, a boxy RV, anything over 25 is akin to reaching a Mach 2 in a fighter airplane. Cupboards spontaneously pop open, hailing books and toys down upon us. Drawers just pop right out of the walls. Bottles fall out of the fridge. I once arrived at my destination to find the RV covered in Worcestershire sauce. I've never bought it since. Cannot get that smell out of my brain. Anyway, so as I'm ambling down the highway, ignoring the wrath of fellow drivers, I calculate I can arrive in the other Santa by 10:30 p.m. I'm staying at Mrs. Schultz's house. Yes, the widow of the Schultz who wrote that little comic strip, Charlie Brown. So I'm a little anxious about arriving too late. But by the time we lurch by Oakland, it's already past my daughter's bedtime, and it's raining hard. I may have forgotten to mention that I have holes in my roof. One hole is strategically placed over my bed, so I can keep driving and hope that the celebrity senior won't mind when I drag a soggy memory foam mattress into her multi-million-dollar yard to dry out. Or I can pull over. So I pull over. And if you have never been to Oakland, arriving late by the docks is a great way to soak in the culture of this poverty and race-torn city. I finally decide upon a gas station that looks like I might only get robbed instead of shot. My daughter wants to know why I won't buy her a 10-year-old candy bar from the dusty shelves. I try to explain to her how the candy will taste, so I buy electrical tape and garbage bags that I hope will make a roof. I deposit my kid inside the RV. She's tired and sulking while I climb over the bikes that are chained to the back of the RV to get to the roof. It's pouring now, and I am exhausted from performing all day. The bike streaks my jeans with grease, the roof is slippery, and there are a lot more holes on the roof than I remembered. The tape won't stick to the wet metal, and I am shivering in my soggy clothes. When I climb back down inside the RV, I am so cold and wet and tired that I get lost retracing my steps to the highway. How I can lose such large landmarks as highways always amazes me. It is now after 9:30, and I start to question my sanity. Why did I think going from a 3-day Renaissance fair to a 6-day gig would be a good idea? I'm about to sink into darker questions of my very existence, but I have found the highway. And the sound of the garbage bags flapping in the wind is so loud that it drowns out all chance of having a thought, except please let the garbage bags stay on the roof. Please, please, please. Somewhere over the Golden Gate Bridge, the sudden absence of sound confirms me that the garbage bags have not stayed on the roof. So now rain is pouring directly onto my bed. The hour being lost in Oakland is completely a waste of time, and I'm now responsible for littering on the highway, a hefty fine if I am caught. But there's no way to gracefully pull a 23-year-old vehicle over on a bridge, so I carry on. I carry on right past my exit. I rumble around the richest part of Santa Rosa, peering at the handwritten directions I have clipped to my console with a hair clip. There aren't any lights inside the RV, so I yell at my daughter to help me with the directions, but she can't read my writing. So I pull in front of some millionaire's house and attempt to memorize the directions in my exhausted brain before the millionaires send a SWAT team out. Because RVs are always assumed to be containing gun-toting pedophiles, when in reality they are more likely carrying Barbies and or knitting. I drive around lost for what seems forever, until unable to find the entrance to the highway, unable to find reassuring words from my daughter. Somehow, I find myself on a road from my list. Is it possible that we will make it? Giddy with the thought of being able to stop driving, we both get a second wind. It's so dark in this wealthy neighborhood, I can't read the street signs. Undeterred, every block, I stop my enormous vehicle, yell at my daughter to hand me the flashlight, which I shine out the light onto the street sign. This method causes fury from the wealthy drivers behind me, but I am past caring what anyone thinks. It has now taken 6 hours for a trip that would take most folks 2. Mrs. Schultz is very gracious, despite the presence of both a tired child and a leaking RV. My daughter walks into the guest house bedroom, shuts the door behind her, and instantly falls asleep. I am jealous. I have to lug all we need from the RV, find something to cover the hole in the roof, finalize a lesson plan for tomorrow, all while convincing Mrs. Schultz that I am a responsible guest and employee. The older I become, the more I measure time in broader strokes. I know I will need a certain amount of time before a show merely to collect my thoughts. What started as day trips are now weekends, and now a week spent between gigs is nothing. And what was supposed to be a summer in an RV turned into 3 years. I have passed the halfway mark of my life, and I'm only going to become slower, taking increasingly amounts of time to achieve less. This saddens me, but it also frees me. I don't need to wait to retire because I live that life now. I don't need to become an actor because I spend my life acting. And I won't ever regret the years I spent with my daughter. And I'm wise enough to know that when Google Maps says a journey will take 1 hour, in reality, it is better done in 4.